Hey everyone, skull902 here, along with KN of SonicSong182.
Oh, I'm here again! That
Yeah,
was like 2 seconds ago!
yeah, we just ended on the Sonic Song channel like two seconds ago. Welcome everybody, who might be coming in from over there, and to all my regular viewers as well. Today on the Skull902 stream, it's a bit of a redemption run because you see, last year I played the 2013 remake edition of Sonic the Hedgehog 2 for KN and our good pal Courtney. Um, and I wasn't so used to the new physics and whatnot, and especially in the special stages where they changed the viewing angle as well and all that. Man, I was so out of practice with the new physics and stuff. I could not get the good ending in either game. So I'm going to redeem myself here today by playing the original Knuckles and Sonic 2 from 1994. For the Sega Genesis. I'm gonna get the good ending, and I'm gonna have KN along here because why not? It's her favorite character.
Yeah!
It's nice to invite her for something like this under those
My
circumstances.
boy! Yes! Let's do it!
Absolutely.
There's gonna be so much emerald collecting to do!
Yes. So let us just okay. That's with Sonic 3. Okay, here we go. Jump right into the game. Good thing I had the sound on too.
I'll even double check, hang on.
Here we go, everybody.
Yep, all sounds good to me. Welcome, everyone, to the Knuckles run of Sonic 2. Skull has been practicing. He's been, revving up. Been having his Rocky montages. He's ready to go.
Yeah, I definitely did my practice earlier today. I did a Sonic run of the game. Ended up getting all the Chaos Emeralds in Emerald Hill, which I don't think I've ever done on like a version of Sonic 2 where like I couldn't just save state, like within the game. Like I did that in the Xbox 360 version, but that's way easier to do because it offers you save states. Whereas in this version, you got to be a little more careful about it. Because you can't just constantly give yourself retries.
Alright, everybody, we're going in for the first special stage. I always like the special stages from Sonic 2 also.
I'm not the biggest fan. I just, like, I know how to do them because I've played them so much, I just got used to them.
Yeah, it is some muscle memory from having played them a lot.
It's legit just from knowing the layouts from repeated playthroughs.
I think it helped that out of like the original like 3 games, this is the one that doesn't rely on stuff spinning around a bunch. Like you are still just going straight forward, and like in like the half pipe thing makes it so it's not like spinning everywhere. Sonic 1 was hard because it was like dropping you all of the time and churning. And then, Blue Spheres, I was never good at that one in my youth, and also, it made me sick.
Oof.
Like, the faster it goes, the worse it is, and it's a lot of turning and spinning, and this is the one of the 3 that didn't do that, so I'm like, this is nice.
Yeah, it's a pleasant time, I think, doing the other 2 special stages. This one definitely took me some time, to just learn, basically. Great thing, though, about Knuckles and Sonic 2 is that it uses Sonic and Knuckles' code. So it saved me my rings after I exited the special stage, so I don't have to go scouring for them again.
I definitely forgot that was a thing. It's been a little while, and I think I never really thought about the fact that it was specifically, like, Knuckles that gets to keep the rings. It's like, in my memory, I couldn't remember why sometimes I could keep the rings and sometimes I couldn't. Just depending on who I was playing as.
It's because it has some of Sonic 3's programming, still, overriding the Sonic 2 way, basically.
Makes
So
sense from the connected cartridges.
yeah, it's like, oh, it uses this system instead, so maybe I can do this, and it's far more convenient for emerald hunting, along with the fact that Knuckles' special stages are easier.
Lower ring requirements, I think is what you said before.
Yeah, surprisingly, though, thankfully, for someone as god-awful at video games as me, the ring requirements for Knuckles are, a lot of the time, much more manageable than with, Sonic.
Rachel Shoulder said, did he get the emerald? I missed it. Yes, he did. This is our second, we're going for the second emerald now. We got the first one, no problemo.
Absolutely. Yeah, the first 3 shouldn't be too much of a problem. Oops. But I know the 4th one is the special stage that I failed at. That's the only one that I failed at when I was doing my my practice earlier today. So we'll see how it goes. I know number 5 also gives me trouble. I was very surprised to get that one first try earlier today.
Nice. And we have acquired 2 emeralds now.
Hooray!
Hurrah! James D. Morris said, I have to admit, that special stage in Sonic 1 was really hard. Going through the rotations was a challenge.
That's one that...
I found Sonic 1 to be very difficult when I was a youth. I was just not good at that one.
Crud. Well, time to go ring collecting.
No, you got robbed by a monkey!
There, Coconuts was just right up there, and unfortunately, it cost me. I wasn't being careful enough.
True. It's alright. You'll catch enough rings pretty soon. There's a lot in this area.
Hopefully.
Dylan Bradley said, so, you have trouble with that darn 4th Chaos Emerald, Skull?
Yeah, I definitely do. That and the 5th one again, give me some troubles.
Hello, welcome to the chat, Ellie Barrett.
Welcome, welcome. Hope you enjoy your time here.
Sonic's channel was asking, TKN, have you thought about asking a 3D animator to make 3D animations for your channel? Nope, I would never be able to afford that in a million years. Animation takes a lot of time and energy. And anyway, I guess I don't necessarily have like a specific project where a 3D animation would be the best to serve it, I think. I had considered at one point getting 3D renders of a thing, but that never actually panned out. It was just something I looked into at one point.
Yeah,
Hello, Sunswift.
Hello, Sunswift. Welcome.
Animation's expensive. Like, I can animate. I've done animated projects before. The reason why I don't do any on SonicSong is because it takes many months to do, like, 3 to 5 minutes. So I know some people who are really fast somehow, and I have no idea how they manage that. But I do, like, jump cut semi-animated materials, or I puppet plushies for some things, because it's kind of a middle ground to getting projects out, where it's not, here's my one animated thing I've made for the last 5 months. I hope you enjoy this 5 minutes I've produced. Because I know I can animate, I've done it before, and I love the end result, but it's too time consuming.
It takes so long to do, is the thing. Very, very intensive stuff, especially when you're doing it just by yourself.
Yeah, and YouTube doesn't necessarily reward that either. Like, yikes. Short form animation used to be, like, really big on YouTube, because, you know, doing a short that was animated really nicely, like, you know, it was attainable, and lots of people had time to watch something that was a minute long, and so it did great on the algorithm. But YouTube made a big shift toward long form content, and it killed the animators on the platform.
Oh yeah.
I don't know 100% if this is what the backstory to this would be. So, like, Ego Raptor from Game Grumps. Pretty sure this was a major part of the reason why he stopped animating and started doing gameplays instead. Where a lot of people don't even remember that he started as an animator.
Yeah, it's been so long.
Yeah, like that used to be his thing. That's what he was known for. And then he had to switch to doing Let's Plays because, man, YouTube was punishing to animation at that point. So the style I use on Sonic Song is a middle ground. I could do more, but it would mean I'd only be able to put out like a couple of projects every like 5 months or something.
Yeah, it's definitely time consuming and whatnot. Having done a little myself, nothing like too extensive. You know, I'm not like an expert by any means.
Yeah, even like sprite animation takes a lot of time, and it's really expensive to outsource it.
Absolutely.
Alright, the squad is congratulating you on acquiring the red one.
Thank you, fam.
Welcome to the chat, Kuko Chad.
Oh, hello.
Sunsmith was asking, how was your day so far? Going good for me so far. I get to hang out with Skull, I get to watch some Knuckles gameplay. What more can you ask for?
Yeah, it's been okay for me thus far.
You're further along in your day than I am, technically, by 3 hours.
Technically, but I've only been up since around 10 a.m. my time, so I don't know when you woke up. So,
Well, I guess I slept in today. I'm usually I'm a pretty big early riser, like 6:30ish is when I sort of naturally roll awake. Like last week, because I had so much to do, I had my alarm set for 4:45 in the morning so that I could get up around 5 or 5:30 and get to work. But usually it's more around like 6:30ish. And then today, I rolled awake, opened one eye at the sunlight coming through the window, and went, nah, and went back to sleep. Which is unusual for me, but usually not past 10 o'clock. I think I finally made myself get up at like 9, but I really didn't want to move today. I'm still so tired.
isn't that just the way?
That is just the way. Hi, Lucas Sullivan, welcome.
Welcome, welcome.
And I'm not watching the Skull's gameplay real time here to save resources. I'm watching the stream, so I'm a few seconds behind where he actually is. But it's if you're still in the tunnel, if this one's intense.
Yeah, I got 4 rings, but I think I can do it. Oh, okay, cool. Just by the skin of my teeth.
Yeah! Good job, dude. Yeah, that one was right on the nose.
Yeah, 4, like, Emerald number 4 definitely gets me. It's certainly a thing.
Hello, welcome to the chat, Sai Patel.
Welcome, welcome.
And Kitty Rose is congratulating you on getting the pink one, and so is Justin Pritt and TCG Cam 65.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, everyone. I don't know what's being talked about exactly between Alien Wildstyle. Looks like something to do with the community college being stressful. So if that is what that conversation's about, it can be a big adjustment. Just make sure you're getting enough rest, especially I think sleep is going to be one of your biggest weapons. Making sure you're properly rested, because that is a good way to combat stress. So just do your best and take care of yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Though there is such a thing as too much sleep. So you gotta make sure that you have a nice cool balance.
Yeah, balance is like in all things is pretty important. I was one of those students at university. I started in a community college, and like I kept going and everything. But I was one of those students that did sacrifice a lot of sleep to get my projects done. And you know what? That contributes to a lot of stress and eventual burnout. I remember being like deliriously sleepy on finals week at one point because I did not get properly well rested the night before or the week leading up to it. And so I was in the middle of trying to do my test and I was like having a half dream about being someplace else. And when I got out of that exam, I was like, you know what? That was counterproductive.
Oof.
I should have just let myself rest because that was not a good position to be in.
Oh, come on.
Oh, no.
Okay, well, at least I can...
I have a pretty good relationship with sleep. I sleep pretty good. It's really rare that I don't have, like, enough rest. That's, like, my one thing I'm good at. Sleep.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at sleeping, too. Some might say, too good. And, I would have that sentiment as well. Sometimes I've surprised myself with just like, you know, hey, I'm gonna sleep for this long, and then it ends up being like way longer than I had planned, and that's no fun. I don't like that when that happens.
Chat thinks you got robbed.
And this off-screen projectile, man, whatever. I got the rings back. It's fine.
Got the rings. Let's see. Sunswift said, KN, besides being an animator and voice actress, what did you want to be in the future? Hard to say. I guess some kind of writer. I love to write stories. And that was really, it's like the beginning of everything. That was the one, that's at the kernel of everything I do. I like to make stories. Everything else I have ever done is just an offshoot of how to supplement me making the story. I started doing voiceover and drawing and like animating and making videos because the story part, that was the one big important thing, and I think it sounds like that's the kernel of everything for Skull too.
Oh yeah, it's definitely like the thing that I focus on the most now, certainly. You know, I say that I'm a writer much more so than a voice actor or an editor or whatever the case may be. Just because that's what I enjoy the most now out of the process. Like, back when I started, I was definitely like, oh yeah, voice acting, that's my main thing. I want to be known as the voice actor man. But as time has gone on, I think writing has really been my calling, and that everything else is just kind of supplementary to it.
Yeah, I started out that it's always been like that for me. I'm almost an addictive writer. I love to just write stuff. I have a grand old time. There was a period of time where I thought that doing professional voiceover would be a lot of fun. And there was a point where I was kind of pursuing that more, and I was getting paid to do commercial reads and stuff like that. And then I found out I don't actually like it. And it is a surprising thing to say, given like what I do online a lot and what I'm known for.
But like the environment of doing it online, I feel is like far more stress-free, is the thing.
Yeah, I like to perform as like a means to an end, basically. And so like I'll do voiceover stuff for friends, or I'll enjoy doing voiceover stuff for my own projects. But I used to want to be like an actress in everybody's stuff. I wanted to be in everything. I was happy to be included. I really had a good time. But I was working through a voiceover website at one point. I got extremely burned out, and there was like a breaking point at some point where I'm like, you know what? I don't enjoy the process of doing voiceover. I don't like sitting down, reading my script, doing my lines. I actually have quite a dislike for this entire thing.
Yeah.
So, like, you know.
I think my voice acting hiatuses also have had something to do with it, where like it was very health related, where like, you know, then I got the sort of feel for creating a little more, you know, with the whole writing and whatnot. Not that I wasn't doing that before, but you know, I got to experience other forms of creation much more, especially with the first hiatus, than I had like before that point, and I just found that I enjoyed it more, writing stories and other such things. Also, check out how I had way more rings than I needed by the time I got in here.
That's what you want for this one, because it's all over the place.
Absolutely.
I should say briefly for my voiceover journey, I do think it had a lot to do with the conditions under which I was doing my commercial voiceover. I don't think that the environment was very good at all, and so it ended up permanently damaging the, like, what kind of fun I'm able to have with the with the performance aspect. Oh, wait! I just got to the part where you got the silver one, or the clear one. You got all the emeralds.
All of them in Emerald Hill, 7 tries, let's go!
Yeah, you didn't miss a 1. 7 out of 7, woo!
Cheer, buddy! I would not have expected this performance in the practice run or now, today.
Yes, Skull is a pro. Skull is a pro. And yes, Bangalore the Betrayer, we get pink knuckles!
Absolutely. So between then, Miracle, thank you for the member message, who says 6-month hype, woo, skull emoji, sup guys, smiley face. And yeah, 6 months membership, now you got the red skull next to your name, Miracle.
Yay!
Thank you for supporting the channel, and being such a good friend.
Red Skull Squad!
Yeah, but not the Marvel Red Skull, that's bad.
Oh, wait, no, oh yeah. Isn't that a guy?
Yeah, it's Captain America's arch nemesis.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so no Red Skull Marvel. We just want Red Skull902's, everybody. That's the rule.
Yeah. Back up just a little bit. I had to stop and appreciate the beautiful aesthetic of those emeralds being collected, and the hyper knuckles coming in. That was good stuff. Humble Crumble was saying, I'd love to do voice acting or voiceovers one day. Many of my friends are still into the voice acting scene, some of them doing projects professionally here and there, and it's all very exciting. So if you've got the right mindset and you take care of yourself as well, it is a lot of fun. And I do still enjoy voice acting for my friends, because it feels like a collaborative thing where we're just like, you know, we're making a project together.
Yeah.
And I love I like recording with my friends. That's different.
Yeah, doing, like, say, an episode of Ask the Sonic Heroes, you know, based on my limited experience anyway, is much more, like a sort of casual joking around, having fun with friends time, as opposed to the professional environment where they, like, really expect perfection out of you. And sometimes, you know, you'll get a director that's a bit too adamant about that sort of thing. Not that I have experience, but I've heard, you know. I'm sure KN can say this much better than me.
I don't know, man. Like, the people I was working for, they really emphasized speedy turnarounds. It was all about getting it out, like, that was the whole point. Perform fast, but, you know, that was one thing, but it was also perform fast or you get punished.
Oh, yeah.
It was bad. Like, one of the worst ones, I remember, they needed retakes in the middle of the night. Oh. I had to get those submitted by like 3 in the morning.
Uh-oh.
And it was a long project I had already recorded, but they decided they needed retakes on things, so it was hours worth of work. and it had to be overnight to hit like a 3 in the morning deadline because of a time zone difference. I was voicing freaking Swahili Big Bird.
Oh my god.
Like, I was supposed to be English dubbing, like, the voice for, like, something that was, I think the original language was in Swahili, but I don't know, like, it was a puppet that needed to be redubbed in English, and because of the time zone difference, they were like, well, Dan, we need you to record this overnight in your tiny, uncomfortable closet, alone, in the dark, for many hours overnight while you have company. And I'm afraid if you don't do this, we're gonna have to give you bad reviews, which means you get less stars, which means you get less money. Oh, we know you're trying to work your way through college, that's fine. You kind of have to do this. Like, they were so frustrating to work with because, like, I could see sometimes from, like, the dubbing material I was given, they gave me the video and the script, and sometimes I didn't speak the language, but there would be moments where the character in the video clip clearly sighs and then says the line, but the script says, here's the line, and end with a sigh. Well, I go and I message the director. I'm like, I think I need to do this in the other direction, and they were like, no, just do it like we say to do it, and if the client asks for changes, we'll tell you.
Well,
I'm like, all right. So I recorded it the way the script said, sent it along, and guess who needs retakes at 3 in the morning?
Well,
on
on that note, very quickly, Slytherin, thank you so much for the 50 krona, who says, hi guys, I'm back. Just had to prepare 9 lunch boxes for the 2 upcoming weeks of work. Well, I hope that you can wind back and... I'm sorry, what was that?
Lunchbox champion.
Yeah, Lunchbox champion of the world. I hope that this stream helped you sit back and relax and enjoy a good time.
Squad is saying that sounded stressful. Let me I'll cap all of that off with this. If the working conditions of your performance are obnoxious and irritating, you take care of yourself.
Yeah,
Don't
exactly.
put yourself through stuff like that for an extended period of time. Like,
yeah.
Because no one deserves that.
Sometimes it's just not worth the stress, you know. I know that you gotta make it in life, obviously, but sometimes, like, a work environment like that, it's not even necessarily anything to do with acting or entertainment. It's just, you know, in general, if there's something that's giving you a super tough time, you know, sometimes it's just not worth it.
Yeah, you gotta weigh that against, like, is it worth my time to endure this?
Exactly.
Pyromaniac asks, Ken, what makes you love Knuckles so much? Dude, he's super cool. Alright, so I'm a 90s kid. The game Skull is currently playing, this is what video games were like back in the day. And I hadn't really been introduced much to RPGs yet or anything, and so the storytelling in games was usually pretty simple. And so I already absolutely loved Sonic 2. I was a big Sonic fan already. I was watching Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog and everything. I just absolutely loved it. And so this is the environment I'm coming in on. I already love this series. And then we get to Sonic 3 and Knuckles, and there's this new character on the block, and he's got cool abilities. He looks cool, he can glide, he can climb, he can just do like freaking neat stuff. But the thing that really won me over about him is that, like, as simple as the storylines in these games were, like, he had a compelling story that, like, you didn't really get in the games before that. You went through all of Sonic 3, and he was just being a huge jerk. He's, like, throwing bombs at you and ruining your life and laughing at you.
Yeah.
This guy's a jerk. Come to find out, he's just, he's mistaken you for his enemy, and he's doing the best that he can to protect, like, his emerald and his island, and he thinks he's doing the right thing. And the, just little kid me and, like, the drama of the part in Sonic 3 and Knuckles when he finds out that he was wrong all along, and frickin' Robotnik, like, electrocutes him, and he's all like severely injured and he realizes what he did, and instead of like, you know, he doesn't just sit around and whine about it, he's just like, oh shoot, I was super wrong and that's super embarrassing. I'm gonna use the last of the strength that I have right now to pull myself together and get Sonic and Tails going to the next level out of the Emerald Shrine so that they can, like, you know, they can finish this for me because I don't have enough left in me to do it myself. And so Knuckles gets Tails and Sonic to the next place, and if you like stand in the right place and like, you know, try to check on him in the game, he's too tired to keep going, but he does this little hand motion like, Sonic, Tails, you guys keep going, just go, like, I'll be alright, you just, like, this is more important than me, or how embarrassed I am that I was being a huge jerk, like, this entire time.
Yeah.
He was just super cool and had, like, this arc. Inside of the game, he gets to, like, fight, like, Mecha Sonic. I thought that fight was dope. Mecha Sonic uses the power of, like, the Master Emerald, and he turns into Super Mecha Sonic. And I thought that, like, you know, here's little kid me, I'm like, this fight is super dramatic. We already know Knuckles is worn out from what he had to do before, and he's gotta fight this guy that's stealing the power from the Emerald he was trying so desperately to protect. It was like, it was cool! Knuckles was cool! And then I was so sad he wasn't in any of the TV shows. I found out later he was in Sonic Underground, a show that I never saw. I thought somebody made that up. I didn't think that was a real show.
Yeah, by the time Underground came out, you were firmly a PlayStation kid.
Yeah, like, you know, we didn't get a Dreamcast, so we went the PlayStation route, and so I never got to, I completely missed Sonic's entire transition to 3D, so all I had were, like, these, like, the main starter games. I missed Sonic Adventure 1 and 2, where they expanded on, like, his story even more. You know I would have absolutely loved to be sitting there playing Sonic Adventure 1, where Knuckles is a major playable character.
Oh yeah.
Heck yeah, man! But I never actually had that opportunity. It was years and years later until I even touched a 3D Sonic game. Like, I had some of, like, the handheld ones, like Sonic Advance. It wasn't until, like, well, it wasn't even when Sonic Heroes was new. It was way after Sonic Heroes had come out, but my sister Ames picked up a copy of the game, and she was like, hey, and I know, like, Knuckles is one of your favorite characters ever, you can freaking play as him in this game, and this game's adorable and cool, and the music's a jam. I'm like, alright. And so there was just this one summer where I was playing Sonic Heroes with Ames, and I reconnected with the series again, which led to me starting to collect the plushies, which started with me finding, I was minding my own business, I was in this random comic shop, and my mom was like, if you see something in the mall today that you'd like as a birthday present, just let me know and I'll get it for you. And I saw this Knuckles plushie, and I was like, dude! They didn't make Knuckles stuffed animals when I was a small bean, and here one is, and I love him. And so that was my birthday gift from my mom. And then SonicSong182 was founded shortly afterwards because of that sequence of events. But yes, that's why Knuckles is the best boy. Lyrical agrees, he is the goodest boy. Yeah, he was just real cool. Shadow Sephiroth was saying, oh yeah, that is actually a really good story for Knuckles. Yeah, he was cool, and he had his own, like, comic spin-off where they went into, like, more detail on things like that. He was just, like, he was such a cool and interesting character. He just got vastly mistreated after they invented Shadow because they had nothing else to do with him.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta... That is why Knuckles had way less to do. It's because he and Shadow filled kind of the same pocket of, you know,
rival for Sonic.
Rival. Yeah, and I like the idea of, like, you know, Knuckles couldn't stay being, you know, a rival to Sonic after the kinds of things they'd been through. Like, clearly they had become, like, close friends, and I was fine with that. But that is why I think Knuckles didn't get used as often, or they kept trying to make him stupid. Because they're like, how do we differentiate him from Shadow, who's, like, a big fan favorite? And, I mean, I agree. I love me some Shadow the Hedgehog. He's awesome. But it was hard for them to figure out what to do with Knuckles after that point. I know that's why.
Yeah. So, basically, to sum it all up, like, your favorite character is Knuckles, and you talked through an entire zone about this subject.
That's what I did! I love him! He's my favorite!
to put it simply, I think it's just KN is saying that like since storytelling in platformers wasn't really that much of a thing back in the mid 1990s, that the fact that they went so hard trying to tell Knuckles' story really enraptured her in the Sonic series, and Knuckles as a character. She did already like Sonic.
He didn't even have dialogue. All that cool dramatic stuff, that was all carried out through like watching like, you know, the character sprites interact and like done through music and stuff. He didn't even get to say anything. Like, this wasn't like an RPG where you can have cool dialogue to get your ideas across, so they had to make it freaking dramatic. They electrocuted this dude and like his skeleton showing. I'm just like, what the heck? That's horrifying. But I already told you guys, as long as it wasn't like realistic, like human being life drama, I ate stuff like that up. I love violence and drama. Like, what kid doesn't? And I was like, oh my god. He was severely injured and yet still picked himself up, swallowed his pride, and helped the other two main characters get the job done with what strength he had left. Like, how cool is that? He was just the coolest guy. You guys asked, I delivered. Now my boy gets to be in the movie, he's getting his own spin-off show. You know that was a good day for me on Twitter.
Yeah.
Idris Elba, please. Play him with joy.
You know, it's rather interesting that it struck the chord with you like that, though, because, I guess just to compare, when I got into video games, story was much more of a thing, but the thing to note about that was, like, my first real console was a Super Nintendo. So, you know, the story still wasn't that much of a thing. Like, we were mostly playing Mario, and the story in most Mario games is rescue the princess. So I didn't really think about story in video games that much until we started getting into Star Fox Adventures, which is a game for the GameCube. So that was like, you know, full-on voice acting, animated cutscenes, and all the like. So it's really interesting to hear it from your perspective when you like really started to get into storytelling in video games, and that you were like consciously thinking about that.
This was pre-Final Fantasy for me, of course, because like that came up when we got the PlayStation, and I'm a big Final Fantasy 8 and 9 fan. I like 7, okay, and I like 10 alright for the nostalgia probably, but I struggled with that game. So like I really became a fan of RPGs and like the story stuff, but they did a lot with not very much with like Knuckles' story. And I'm sorry, but one of my favorite tropes is like this cool character has been injured in a dramatic way, and then they gotta like, you know, use whatever energy they've got to, you know, do what they can while the rest of the characters go and like solve the situation. You know how we were talking about how I just saw Voltron Legendary Defender for the first time. You know what character ended up being my favorite? Shiro. You know why? That guy was cool as heck and got the snot kicked out of him constantly. But he was so cool, like you had to, because he was so competent in everything. So they had to take him out of certain areas by like having dramatic stuff happen to him while the rest of the cast worries about him. And I'm like, yes, this is the perfect balance. And that's what they did with Knuckles also. This trope runs deep in me.
Yeah, you know, I think that might subconsciously might be one of the reasons why I liked you know, Dragon Ball Z, especially as a kid. But I just think like that sort of thing that you're talking about is pretty cool. Like I'll give you an example. Like I'm not really. Oh, sorry, what was that?
There's a lot of stuff, like I secretly liked Dragon Ball Z when I was growing up. I didn't talk about it much, but it's because it had those elements in it. Like, oh no, our friends are injured and we have to keep picking ourselves up no matter how bad it gets. Oh, the drama.
Yeah, for certain, like, one of the examples of that I think of is, like, there was this video comparing the edits that 4Kids made to One Piece. And one of the shots, I know some people might not feel the same way, and it's understandable for reasons. But there's the shot that they edited where Luffy's like in a fighting stance, both of his fists are up, but they are like covered in blood. But like the reason why I think that shot looks so cool is because he's still, despite the injury, still like willing to go out and kick some ass. Like, that is so awesome.
Yeah, keep going, kick the butt.
Absolutely. KN can't say the bad words, but
Skull, say it again, but we'll pretend it's me.
Hi everybody, KN from Sonic Song here, ass!
Why did Mickey Mouse show up?
that was just the first thing that came to mind.
Hi everybody, KN from Sonic Song here, huh?
I can't do Mickey anymore.
That's alright, you'd have to have done vocal warm-ups, like... Thanks, guys. Shadow Sephiroth was saying Can's too pure, and 72 Ace once said she's our cinnamon roll like that. And Katie
Absolutely.
BA said Can's too much of a sweet bean to curse. Also, hi. Hi, Katie. It might. I think I've said this before. It might surprise people, but I actually, in my regular walking life, I actually swear quite a bit. But it's never like it isn't angry swearing. I don't swear when I'm mad.
Yeah, it's just
like,
casual,
silly
normal
stuff.
talking, swearing. Yeah.
It's silly stuff. It's like playing D&D and my more curse-oriented characters, like shouting stuff. Like, I don't have actually any moral problems with cursing at all. It's just I'm hyper trained in any like recorded environment, like to behave the way I speak. And that just comes from having been online for many, many years. I have a particular way that I've tailored my speech, so now it just comes naturally to me. It feels like, I'm like, oh, what if my grandparents are watching?
Yeah,
I remember one time I showed my mom a blooper reel that was like, I was in an audio drama that my friend wrote, and my friend, like, she put it on like YouTube, and there was an outtakes reel at the end. And of course, I swore like everyone else in the outtakes, and I remember my mom gasped audibly, and I was like, yes, mother, I am an adult, by the way. I can say these words, and she was just so shocked.
Your little girl ain't so little.
He's like, oh, Mom, I'm sorry. So I've always been really careful about the things that I say in recorded settings, and now it's just how I naturally speak in these environments at this point.
Yeah.
Like, even if I'm somewhere super lax, like one of Skull streams.
Yeah, definitely, oof, almost got in the pit there.
No, not the pit!
Yeah, the pit of doom, you don't want that. Certainly not. I really have myself mentally trained, like, for whenever I'm on your channel, or Vinny's to a lesser extent, so, it's just like a matter of knowing how you want to talk and whatnot. I did say shiz near the end of the Sonic Song stream, but you know what? That's not a real word anyway, so...
No, it isn't. You're allowed to say that as much as you want, but... just, it's so sad. I'm still like...
Yeah, I tried doing the same joke as last time, but instead of saying stuff, I went shiz, and I was like, oops. Like, internally. But apparently that's okay, so,
There's even some, like, words that are considered swear words, I guess, by the populace these days that I don't consider to be swear words. They said these words in Nickelodeon cartoons when I was growing up. That's not a curse word, but people were still getting offended by it, so stop saying it. Like, oh, come on. Helga Pataki says that all the time.
Yeah, I know I said crap earlier on the Sonic Song stream, and that's immediately played through my mind, was like, someone's probably gonna think that's a swear, but I don't care, it's not to me.
That's the exact one that I'm thinking of. And we said that a bunch in Shadow and the 13 Ghosts, like one of our original Sonic Song movies.
Well, Shadow also said damn in that movie, so...
Yes, he did! I had him written the way he speaks in his video game, and people were like, oh! I'm like, what do you mean you guys played his game? This guy's got a machine gun, a motorcycle, and he says these words. I'm only writing him dialogue specific. Okay, fine. And then I stopped doing it.
He has a potty mouth.
Yes, and SBO and Sonic too!
And Knuckles.
And Knuckles! Well, you know what? Knuckles, look at him. You know this guy swears.
Oh yeah, certainly. I never quite got the whole attitude of like, oh, the Sonic swearing, that's so offensive. It's like, yeah, like you wouldn't expect him to swear in like a children's property. That's like kind of a given. But at the same time, let's just think about this like in terms of the canon. Like Sonic is a 15-year-old boy. You don't think that a 15-year-old boy would, talk exclusively in non-swears, or at least most of them? I know when I was 15, I was saying a whole lot worse than damn.
So there were 90 said, I bet kids' parents curse too, do they? Oh yeah, my whole family swears like sailors.
She
Even
probably
my
learned a lot of them from her dad,
grandparents do.
from what I keep hearing.
Yeah, my dad was a literal sailor. Coast Guard, woo! But, for example, my grandmother will be sitting in complete silence. I'm, like, over here just meditatively doing my editing, and she will just suddenly, expletive! And I'm just like, Grandma. But I would never swear in front of her. It's like, I don't know, it's like, mentally it's like a hierarchy thing. It's a show of respect for me to not, like, go curse up a storm in front of my grandparents, even if they will just, like, they'll just, swear casually as well, but there's something more awkward about the granddaughter using uncouth language.
Yeah, I don't quite feel that way so much because when I was a kid, we just kind of swore after learning what swearing was. And I guess the shock factor just went down for my mom eventually, and she just started not caring. Because we were just going to do it anyway, no matter how much she said to stop it.
Oh yeah, I'll swear plenty among friends, but like it's like one of those there's a time and a place kind of things for me. And again, at this point, I'm just hyper trained to be really aware of it when like I'm online. So. Oh yeah.
Also, I like how we have this conversation like basically every time that we stream together on my side of the channel.
It just kind of comes up.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry. When I was a youth, I got in trouble for saying things like, "but."
Well, you got in trouble for saying "but"?
It was rude. Like, oh.
That has got to be one of the most inoffensive milquetoast words to say.
It was probably a context thing.
Did you call someone a butt?
Probably something like that. Or like, if you turn to your sibling and go like, I'm gonna kick your butt.
Yeah, okay, that's a little more...
context and intent.
Yeah, because like, if it's just like someone having a problem with the word itself, then they've got a lot of other words that they need to learn.
Yay!
There are other words that are far more worth worrying about than butt.
Oh, absolutely. It was just something about like speaking politely in public.
I hate the seahorses, by the way, just a quick aside.
Those seahorses are actually pretty dope in the winter mod of Sonic 2.
They even got me from like way up there. What was Shadow of Sephiroth saying?
Oh, Shadow of Sephiroth was saying, I try not to swear too much, but I get in certain moods, so yeah, I can swear pretty casually. I usually only do for, like, comedic effect.
Yeah, like, a lot of my earlier videos, and I'm so apologetic for some of the things I scripted for KN to say.
I think Sunswift's comment is funny. I'm gonna click the show thing on it. It got caught by the autofilter, but Sunswift... your commentary about what was spoken in the Bible.
Oh yeah. Well, that's also contextual because they're talking about donkeys.
They're talking about donkeys, yes.
Yeah, it's one of the most common words in the Bible, but they mean donkey.
my grandparents have like an Aesop's Fables book, and I just read the titles of the fables and laugh because it's
come
like
on.
that is what they mean. It's just like with modern context for how that word is usually used. I'm just like, oh, the lion and his what? Michael a little upset outside of Sonic Song. I swear like a sailor. I appreciate it, Michael.
Yeah. You know, keeping up with the rules is a good thing.
Yes. Seems to, you know, it helps the community in a way. It can feel a little overly sensitive sometimes, but I don't think it isn't bad.
Yeah.
I think it's nice that, you know, people feel a little more comfortable, a little more ready for the vibe. And everybody was saying you have been mistreated by that first death. But...
Yeah, I glitched through him trying to hit him, and that immediately it made me super sad because I still have never had a deathless run of Sonic 2, and I was pretty close this time.
Yeah, you got pretty far. We're in Metropolis Zone. There's not that much more to go.
Yeah, we're basically an endgame.
After this, and then the ending.
Yeah, Sky Chase, Wing Fortress, Death Egg, and then the ending after this zone. Yep.
Oh, I'm shocked.
Oop. Okay, I jumped into that one. That was my fault.
It happens, man. I'm not sure I've ever tried a specific run of the game with, like, I don't know, with a goal in mind. Like, I've never tried to do a deathless run of this game before.
I never really go in... I never really go in thinking, oh man, I definitely want to try to make this deathless. But if it happens and it's, like, late in the game, then I'm like, oh, well, you know, maybe. And then sometimes, if you only realize it after having your first death, it's like, especially when you're late in the game like I was, it's like, oh man, that would have been cool. Oof, that was a close one. Thank God for the glide.
Oh, yeah, I just saw that. It was the spike one.
Yeah.
You got this, go.
Glitch in Black says Hell Zone, Act 1. Yeah, it is it is hellish.
Angelica Montoya 96 said, Sonic Song, I have a question. Why does Knuckles have Legos on his shoes? This has been bothering me for so long. Well, it's better than it being underfoot, so, I guess he just attached to the top. And now if he needs a makeshift weapon out of nowhere, or like if he's infiltrating a place, he can just like take the Legos off his shoes, drop them on the ground, and he knows he's covered. If someone comes running after him.
Exactly.
While he's making his great escape.
For sure.
It's a defense mechanism.
Also, welcome to the stream, Georgia.
Welcome!
This is Heddly Doodly.
There's almost 50 of us here, pretty close.
I'm sorry, what was that?
There's almost 50 of us here for
yeah.
the stream.
43 it says in my dashboard.
I've got 48.
I believe my stream record set last year with you and Courtney was 98.
Woo, that's big!
Yeah, I haven't quite hit triple digits yet, but, you know, maybe one of these days.
What stream was that?
That was February last year with you and Courtney. You guys actually had to dip out during Metropolis Zone.
We didn't make it to the end.
Yeah, I was running a little longer than I thought that I would, unfortunately, and Miracle and Katie made up for your absence.
You were playing 2 games back to back that time, right? You started on Sonic 1, then went to Sonic 2?
Yeah, I started with the 2013 remake of Sonic 1, then I did the equivalent for Sonic 2.
Shadow Sephiroth said, yeah, because I've trained myself so much not to swear in Sonic Song stuff, I feel weird swearing in Skull streams even though it's allowed. Oh, right? That's what happened to me. I hyper-trained myself to speak a certain way. I've been doing, like, you know, I've streamed, like, once a week. And, like, and YouTube itself gets mad about it if you use certain language. So I'm like, well, you know what? It's a good thing I was practicing to speak a certain way anyway. And then now in places where it's allowed, I'm like, I can't do that.
Yeah, but you know, you don't need to feel reservations. Who was that?
Shadow Sephiroth, I think it was.
Yeah, Shadow Sephiroth. You don't need to feel reservations about that. You can swear all the fuck you want.
Yeah, what Skull said.
Exactly. Yeah.
Justin Pritt said, I forget, was it Sonic 2? Was that the one that introduced the Super Emeralds, or was it Sonic 3? That was Sonic 3.
Yeah, that was Sonic and Knuckles, or well, 3 and Knuckles, I guess.
Yeah,
If you want to be like really specific about it, for whatever reason.
Yeah, I forget that sometimes. I always perceive those two games as being the same thing, because who the heck was playing just one or the other?
Yeah, honestly, you know, they should just be treated as one big game, because that was kind of the intent, so...
Yeah, they just, like, split it in half for, like, development reasons and release schedule stuff, but it was always intended to be played together, so...
Yeah, it's the true experience. Georgia says, as a Brit, I raise you bollocks. Thanks, Georgia.
I remember me and my friends were dumb and good. I remember in middle school, Ames and I came up with, like, code words for certain swears. This was, like, all the way in middle school, when all of our peers, of course, were already just blatantly swearing. But,
well, so that, like, you didn't get in trouble with teachers if you were like, aw, man, that's so schmooze.
Yeah, but it was, like, totally random freaking words. And then also, I got into the anime scene pretty late. Like, Ames got into it sooner than I did. And she was like, this is what Inuyasha says. and so it was just, like, the Japanese version of the swears, and I was like, oh, cool.
Now I'm learning how to swear internationally. It's amazing.
Like, and it's not the same if it's in another language. I mean, it's not going to offend the English-speaking people because it's a different language. You're good to go.
Of course, it makes so much sense.
Sorry, Shadow Sufferer, they tried. Yeah,
Georgia says, Inuyasha taught me to say damn. I'd never heard it before. That's an interesting...
That's exactly the one.
Also, welcome to the stream, Josh. Who says, dinosaurs had smoo as its TV swear word, and it's incredible. Oops. Not like me getting hit there. That was embarrassing.
Yeah, Knuckles tried to play that off like nothing happened. He didn't even go to into his I'm hurt animation. He was just like, nope, didn't happen.
he doesn't have time for that kind of thing.
And I remember I remember Ames and our friend who has been in like some of our videos before. She voiced some of the Alaskan chickens, and she was credited as Dragon at the time, so I'll call her Dragon. I remember when Ames and Dragon first saw an episode of Inuyasha on Adult Swim, and they were trying to tell me about it on the phone the next day because they had like a sleepover, but I wasn't able to go. I don't remember why. It doesn't really matter. And I thought they were nuts for what they were trying to explain, because I was not familiar with anime, and it's like, you know, or any of the things you commonly see in it. And they were like, yeah, and there's this guy who's like a person, but he's a dog demon also, and he's got like a necklace. And whenever the main character, Kagome, she says, sit boy, like he falls on the ground and like a giant rock fell on him. I'm like, what did you guys watch in the middle of the night? Like, this sounds... How much ice cream did you people have?
I'm sorry, the ninja guy put his hands where?
And there was this monk named Moroku, and guess what he did? 5 times!
Uh-oh.
I'm like, what do you mean?
And then, the credits song was so amazing. Death number 2.
What? Yeah, it was interesting. Oh no, I just saw your life.
Well, you know, at least I spawned back with like 30-some rings, so I can try to get back into super form again.
Yeah, let's get us our Hyper Knuckles. So cute in his little fang. Ready to beat people up.
We used to beat people up for saying things like that.
That hat guy said, speaking of which, remember when they were gonna have the voice actors for SpongeBob, oh my god. Voice actors for SpongeBob use fake swears, and they were gonna bleep them and use them in the cartoon anyway.
Yeah.
Where they covered it up with like dolphin sound effects.
Yeah, I believe one of them, I think it was Clancy Brown who voices Mr. Krabs, was just like, can we just swear for real?
We'll just cover it up. It makes it more natural anyway.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna repeat it, but Livestation was saying to Justin, funny you should mention that apparently such and such word is a rude word in the UK. Yeah, I know, I've had like characters with that name before. I didn't make them up. They were like, I was writing with a partner, and that's what that character's name was. And it turns out that is also not a good word, depending on where you live.
I can't see it, so I'll have to.
Yeah, it's you know, it's all a construct. It's just words. That's why I'm not actually personally offended by swear words. Like, you know, someone can swear in front of me, I don't care. It's all about the intent. Like, if you just say a certain word that is considered a bad word, like, whatever. It's the intent behind it that matters. If you walk up and, like, call somebody something like that with the intent to harm, then it's different, because you know what, depending on where you are, like, there's words you wouldn't think of as being a swear word at all, and then you find out it's a rude thing to say in another language or a different region, so it's all just kind of made up.
Yeah.
All just kind of made up.
Like, who's the one that thought that bloody should be a swear? Because that's just like a condition.
Yeah, who made this decision?
I wish to speak to the manager of language.
Yes, what happened here? Like, it depends on where you are. It's a regional thing. It's all just kind of made up. I don't know how we decided that you weren't allowed to say certain 4-letter words.
Exactly. Well, in the case of bloody, I guess it's 5, but...
Yeah. I have a self-challenge for the next time we stream together, so...
Oh boy.
I will not talk about swear words in any way, shape, or form next time. I'm sorry. It comes up and generates conversation that I find interesting. I'm sorry it happens a lot.
I think it just kind of happens because everybody knows that I'm the swearing channel, which is a great description of my content.
Welcome to the swearing channel.
24 hours swearing.
That'd make quite a video. We are fighting this man. You know what? I'm not 100% sure what how you finesse this fight. I think you're supposed to time it just right or something.
Yeah, that's the deal. But I've never been the greatest at timing the jumps that you need to make for that. So I just kind of...
I've always done this one like blunt force, just like, this is the battle where I use 1 ring and invincibility frames to win and just smash my face against his robot.
Yeah, exactly. I just like... When it gets to lower ring amounts, oh, come on! Alright, that makes me a little more nervous.
Kick him in the
nostril. I knew it.
No! Well, this fight is so dependent on the ring and invincibility frames thing. Because there is timing that, like, can get you through it better, but I've never mastered that one, even though I've played this game lots of times.
Yeah, you can't even do it the safe way super reliably because Knuckles has a crappier jump than Sonic's. So see, I just got owned there.
It's okay, Knuckles is back for revenge. You got this. Fight this man.
It's a much tighter window to try and get it even just the normal way as Knuckles.
We're watching intensely. Oh! I just saw you get hit, but I know that happened a minute ago.
Yeah.
Or a few seconds ago. Enzy and Jake Kangaroo Mouse said, I love this boss fight. I don't know how to finesse this one, so it's unfortunately not one of my favorites.
Yeah, once it gets down to like the lower balloons, I think I can just do it without really caring all too much.
Yeah, once there's not as many, then it's pretty easy.
Absolutely.
You've got no defenses now, sir, except that laser, but you know what?
Oh yeah, once it gets to the laser part, I'm super thankful. You know, just once.
Yeah, at that point, he's just depending on you to not realize he has it, and he's basically got just like.
Yeah, if you're underneath him, you're totally safe. Unless if you let him fire all 3 shots for whatever reason, and then.
It's like I appreciated this level as a youth because it was like, it's the one time where you just get Knuckles and Tails to interact, and I was always interested in having those two be like better friends and stuff and like go on adventures together. Somebody before, maybe I can find it. I forgot about this one. Maybe I can find it. And I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find it, but someone was asking me if I ever wrote like a fan fiction with these characters before. I think they implied like if any of it was embarrassing. I wasn't, for how much of a shipper I am now, I really wasn't. Like as a kid, I just didn't think about stuff like that.
The only ships she was thinking about were friendships.
Yeah. But like the kind of stories I was writing, I wasn't writing like you know, romances. I love romances and adorable character stuff and cuddling and holding hands and stories these days, but that's not the kind of stuff that crossed my mind when I was a youth. So the kind of fan fiction that I remember writing about these characters, I can remember 2 specific ones. One of them was I had this story I was writing that was about Knuckles and Tails trying to get through Lava Reef Zone to go rescue Sonic, and that's what made me think of it just now, because I was just talking about that. So like I'd write adventure stories with different combinations of characters than you usually get to see, because I really wanted to see like Knuckles and Tails team up to do more, because like this level is the only time you really get to see that. Like, you know, in the levels anyway, like it's always Tails with the plane, but you really don't get it very often where they're working together.
Yeah.
So like that was one thing, and I remember I was trying to write this really dramatic thing with the Freedom Fighters from Sonic Sat AM, and I did read the comics back then, and the bad guy was that knight guy from Mean Bean Machine, because I thought that guy was like unreasonably scary looking for what his name was. His name was like Sir Fuzzy Logic. Or
What?
Something like that. He's got like a dumb name, and he's a knight with like a boa. And I'm like, this character design is pretty menacing for what a silly name they gave him. And so I decided to dig into that. I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna make him a really horrifying bad guy. And it's gonna be like the Freedom Fighters with Sonic and Tails, obviously, but like they call in Knuckles as reinforcements, even though he's not like in their team technically. And then it was like this, I don't remember now because it was like so long ago, but the story was about how the Freedom Fighters plus Knuckles were dealing with that guy, because I was interested in developing him as a villain, because I thought his design was pretty spooky for what a dumb name they gave him.
That is a pretty severely dumb name.
It is. It's Sir Fuzzy Logic. I guess because he's wearing a boa. I don't know what was up with that.
Yeah, that is terribly strange.
It was, but that was the kind of fan fictions I was writing at the time. Like, you know, and like if it was I don't remember this specifically, but if it was Sonic SatAM that I was basing that off of, which I know that it was, then like, you know, Sonic and Sally definitely would have had like their usual thing, because that's just what was in the story.
Yeah.
But I don't think that I would have concentrated on that very much.
Alright, I hate to do this now, actually. I'm so sorry, KN. But I'm gonna have to BRB for a bit.
Ooh.
Q&A time with KN, everybody. I'll be back as soon as possible.
Phil. Take the time you need. Let me go ahead and start with this one. Slytherin90 said, "Did I just hear KN say the F word, or is it just me? I'm not sure what you could have mistaken for that one, but no, I didn't. I think the last thing that I can think of that I said that had an F in it was Sir Fuzzy Logic. Probably the word freaking, but I definitely didn't accidentally drop an F-bomb. All right, guys, it's the KN show. Shadow Sephirin said, "KN holding the fort. Yes, I'm here to make sure we don't get invaded. Sorry about your nightmare, Kuko chat, about thinking they lost their Sonic 3 cart and only had Sonic 3 and Knuckles. You know what, to be fair, if you could only have one or the other, I think keeping the Sonic 3 and Knuckles cart is the better of the two to get stuck with, because you can still play as Knuckles, and it's the longer half of the game. Rachel Shoulder said, "What does BRB stand for?" That stands for Be Right Back. Hi, Wild Style. And James D. Morris said, "Which one is more professionally KN, Sonali or Sonami?" I'm sorry, James. I don't entirely understand the question about, I think, which one are more professionally. I feel like something might have been miswritten in here. Do you mean which one do I like more? I'll wait a second on that one so that I can make sure I've got your question correct. In the meantime, I'll put a pin in that, get back to James in a second. Katie Love to Sing VA said, "KN, in the latest Ask a Sonic Heroes, so are Silver and Blaze kinda a thing now?" I think they have been for a few episodes. They're still, a little bit private, though. I think it's inferred that they might be kind of a thing, because that's how they keep talking about it. And Kayla Project said, "What was your favorite part of the Valentine's episode?" I don't know, there were so many good parts. I'm gonna go, maybe I'll say, I really enjoyed getting to animate the little frames that Gabs sent me. She's the one that drew like the Silver and Blaze Spider-Man kiss part. She drew the frames for that, and then I got to do the animation by taking the frames she drew and like putting them together and adding little bounces to it. I thought that turned out so cute. I almost died. Justin Pritt said, "KN, have you ever thought of Maria playing Spyro 1 on your channel?" I'm not sure. Part of me would like to revisit the Spyro games, because I did play a little bit of the first Spyro when I was a youth, but I wasn't good enough at the game, so I didn't get very far. That was one that I just enjoyed watching my brother and Ames play more. Also, my scrolling wheel's broken. James! Okay, there we go. Alright, that's what I thought. It was an autocorrect thing. James D. Moore said, "Yeah, that's what I meant. What do you like?" So it's, what do you like more, Sonali or Sonami? It depends on the context. I'm a multi-shipper. I like them both. It's hard for me to say which one I like better. I find that Sonic and Amy is more relevant, just because, you know, Sonic and Sally haven't gotten to really be a thing, like, since the 90s. They were, you know, they had their on-again, off-again thing in the comics, but I fell off of the comics pretty early just because I couldn't find them in stores anymore. And I thought that I think Sonic and Sally was a really fun couple. They did some weird stuff with them in the comics that I thought was a little extreme and out of character, but when they were being written correctly, I think that they worked together really well. They were fun, and like people who have complaints about what their interactions were like, I also understand that. Like some people thought that Sally was maybe a little overbearing for Sonic's like his free spirit and his need for adventure and running around. And I thought that sometimes they could lean a little too hard on her like keeping him grounded, but at the same time, like when it was handled correctly, they bounced off of each other really well. Like sometimes when you are a free spirit, you do work well with somebody who is a little bit more grounded and can help you stay focused, which Sonic really needed in that setting because it was like the end of the world. He was brave and reckless and like had a lot of skills, but wasn't always like the best strategist, or sometimes he was too reckless, so he needed someone to reel him in. And they clearly cared about each other a lot, and then the people who were working on the stories, like they took the time to like let that relationship like work in interesting ways. I liked it. And meanwhile, I think Sonic and Amy, I wasn't so sure about that one when it was first introduced, because it was really very one-sided. Like, and Amy was written very overbearing at first, but more like modern Amy's not quite as bad. I think it helps when they're written in a certain way, because I do think her being so possessive or like obsessed with marriage is a little for me. But then again, I've been working with like my sister playing this character in like our own version of the characters, and like from what I've seen of the IDW comics, she's played more mellow to where they're able to be friends first and then have like some chemistry there as well. And I appreciate that. I think it's cute. I think they have a lot of interesting moments. It's just sometimes for like comedy, they get a little overly played up, like certain aspects, like the fangirl chasing her hero. And when it leans too heavily on those tropes, Sonic and Amy I think can be a little hard to get behind. But when they let it like mellow out a little bit more to where they're able to be close friends first and then like also have the chemistry, I think it's a little nicer. But I like both. And oh no, we're in shipping conversation. Kayla Project said, "What is your favorite ship with Knuckles?" Who are his shipping options? Like, who else does he get shipped with aside from Rouge? Because I really do like Knuckles and Rouge. I think it's a fun dynamic. I think it's gonna be a while into their future before they'd ever become like an actual item. I think as is, those two shouldn't be dating. They've got a really fun dynamic, and I think like they're flirting and saving each other's stuff. It can be pretty cute. It's like if they ever like got together in like a couple situation, I feel like that'd be further along in their adventures together, so it's not like the thing that would happen right now, but a thing that would happen in the future. But I think Knuckles and Rouge is probably my favorite one. I'm everyone's saying I didn't know people shipped Knuckles and Shadow. I can get behind nearly anything if I see cute artwork of it or a cute like storyline. Like, people can come up with lots of interesting ways for any number of characters to get together, and if you write it in a way that's got chemistry in there, I can get behind that. I've seen some really cute Sonic X Knuckles stuff before, like some cute stories, cute drawings, and even though like Knuckles and Rouge, I guess, is my favorite one, there's some adorable Sonic and Knuckles stuff that exists as well, and heck, I like it. I like basically everything. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. 72 Acemon said I shipped Knuckles and Sonya. I think I think I could get behind that one also. Like, I don't think they did very much with it in Sonic Underground, just because Knuckles was only featured like a couple of times, but I think they implied that he might have like a crush on her or something like that. I think that you could take most any two characters and then like if you work on them with some kind of chemistry, if you give them something to work with in your fan works of them, like you can make anything real cute. Let's see. Oh, Angelica Montoya says Eggman X Egg. Oh, definitely. That one is a match made in heaven. Crossmare Girl Ovia said Nuxado is good, but anyone heard of Nux Silver? That's an underrated ship if I've ever seen one. Yeah, that one sounds like a rare pair to me. Like, again, I could get behind just about anything. You show me a cute drawing of Silver and Knuckles holding hands, heck yeah. Excellent. Here we go. But I guess they really don't talk to each other. Like, do they? So they don't give me much to work with on that one. Katie loved to sing VA said Song made me a Sylvays shipper. Welcome! Sylvays is one of my most favorite ones. But even with them, I'm a multi-shipper because, like, I've never tried to rank my favorite ships before. Mostly because it's such, like, a... You know, I don't know if the fandom's calmed down a little bit in recent years, but it used to be such, like... You know, people would argue on, like, just the littlest thing about their favorite ships, and so it was discouraging to have conversations about them. So I never really ranked my favorites, but among my top favorite ships are Silver and Blaze. I like Blaze and Sonic together also, and I like Silver and Espio. So multi-shipper for the ages, like those are three of my very most favorites, and it's like one of my number one favorite ships, Silver and Blaze, and then their alternate people who I think they'd be adorable with. But yeah, I always thought Silver Espio was really, really cute. I like that one a lot. That might be like my second or third favorite, Silvespio. But probably from like the more well-known ships, it'd be like Sylvays and Nuxus, just some of my favorites. Wildstyle said, someone made an Amy Tickall drawing. It was so cute. Yeah, you can, if you put the footwork into it, you can match up a lot of different varieties of the characters and it'll be super adorable. Like, there's some of them that I'm definitely like, you know, I'm not necessarily behind, like, I'm a multi-shipper and I can get behind just about anything. There's some where I'm like, no. But maybe if these characters were allowed to age or something. So, like, you know, sometimes, I don't know, I have a hard time actually with ships with Tails because he exists in sort of a weird space in the middle of all of his friends. Like, these characters, for the most part, are not written their age. This character is not written like he's 8 years old. So, some of the, but, you know, he is, canonically 8, and so some ships involving Tails I'm a little concerned about. Or I'm like, maybe when they're older. And I think probably, like, I think from what I've seen, Tails and Cosmo's pretty cute, but, like, they usually, like, Tails gets a lot of, like, ships depending on, like, where he comes from, but there's some other ones that that I think have a pretty big fan base, but I'm like, how about the when they're older AU? And, I don't know. Katie Love to Sing said, not kidding, KN, I had the childhood of playing through Silver's never-ending story, and playing through that made me ship Sylvays. That was such a fun movie project to work on. I had a grand old time. And that's part of what got, like, you know, just my own work with these characters is part of what gets me into particular, like, this ship or that ship. Like, I had so much fun with the drama of Silver and Blaze trying to reunite again after they were separated in Sonic 06. So, like, that's part of how I got so attached to that one. It was just really fun to work with them. Luke O'Sullivan said, I'm not much of a shipper person, but your version of Maria and Gadget is pretty sweet. Thank you. And it's totally okay to not be into, like, the shipping aspects of fandom. Like, I absolutely understand. Like, I wasn't originally when I was a youth. I could care less. In fact, I was a little, like, repelled by it. I'm like, bleh. Why? You know, like, when I did grow up with, like, Sonic and Sally, and they smooched sometimes, and I always thought it was weird. I'm like, nah, why are characters, ew. And, like, Aladdin and Jasmine have their big kiss at the end of the Aladdin movie, and I'm like, it was super rare. Back in the day that I didn't think, like, whatever the romantic side plot was, I'm like, well, I guess that has to happen, but do I have to look at it? And I flipped at some point. I think it was, you know what? I think I know what it was. Here we go on random story time with KN. I was writing a story with my sister. We were collaborating on a story, and it was like we were 15, I think, so like mid high school at the time. And we wrote this story, and neither of us were really all that interested in like the romantic aspects of stories. But in the story we worked on, just completely by accident, the two main characters had like, you know, such good chemistry, I guess. And we were like, I think that we started to like super ship these characters. We were like, oh my gosh, our two main characters are super like, you know, they're really cute together. That's weird. But because we'd never cared that much about like romantic subplots before, we didn't know how to handle it. So we wrote that whole story, built up all this great chemistry, and then we, in our dramatic ending, we killed them both without ever letting them kiss in the story. They didn't get the Aladdin and Jasmine like climactic romance kiss thing. No, we had the dramatic ending where they both freaking died, and neither of them, they didn't kiss. And like years later, we had regrets. We were like, story shouldn't have ended that way. Shouldn't have ended that way. Those characters should have had like, you know, there should have been closure to that like chemistry we'd written. But we were so generally disinterested in romance plots before that point that we didn't know how to handle it, and so we didn't really get like the plot closure to this story we wrote from beginning to end over the period of a summer. And I still think about that sometimes. And I'm like, that was really you know what? It missed an important plot beat, and I thought about it for years afterwards, and I feel like that's around the time I flipped. And I'm like, you know what, actually sometimes if you've got the right chemistry, it can be really cute and really satisfying to like, you know, follow the character's relationship. So I feel like that's when it happened.
What a thing to come back onto.
Hi, Skull! You
Hi.
left, and I turned your whole stream into talking about romance.
What a thing to come back to, though. Just hearing you say that you flipped.
Flipped because they both died and they never kissed. Welcome back to the Skull902 stream, everyone. We're gonna go back to talking about manly things like Knuckles the Echidna and soda.
Which I happen to be drinking. Not hard to guess because I always am, but
Yay!
I mean, you can talk about. I guess it was girly stuff if you want.
We were talking about Sonic ships actually, but
Oh well, I mean, you know, you can talk about, you know, whatever, you know.
It's a month for it. It's still February.
Yeah.
I don't know what this means, but Panda Production said YouTube's trying to sabotage my views. Sorry to hear that.
Sorry.
And Angelica Montoya says, you scared me, Skull. Yeah, we just got Skull out of nowhere. I'm in the middle of talking about the dramatic death scene.
I'm sorry. I was really in a panic myself about being able to, you know, make it back in time. So.
Oh, don't worry, man. I'm a professional. I know how to vibe with a crowd.
Well, no, I wasn't worried about you being able to handle it, but you know.
Like, what if I don't come back until like 2 hours later?
I was so in like hurry up mode throughout like what I was doing.
This is how about UCG Cam 65 said, my favorite soda is Diet Mountain Dew. Everybody, favorite soda time! Mine is cream soda. It is delicious. And alternate favorites would be Dr. Pepper and Sprite, but my favorite is cream soda. Good stuff.
Everybody memes me as the Dr. Pepper and pizza guy. But I think my actual favorite is Cherry Coke. But you know, there's plenty of good ones. I don't think that I would be able to, you know, unless if you want to hear me for like another few hours.
Yeah, list every kind. Wild Style said Pepsi. Here we go, fighting Silver Sonic and talking about soda.
Oh, cards. Get ready for.
Soda.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go on.
Oh, orange soda from Lemon Sweet.
Yeah, orange is good.
Man, you messed that boss fight up.
Yeah, but now because Knuckles can't jump like Sonic does, so I'm legit gonna have to take this the super safe way, which means that this is gonna take like 3.5 minutes.
Alright, yeah, that was Knuckles' downside. He can climb, he can glide, he can punch through walls. This dude is super freaking cool. However, he is not able to jump real well.
Yeah, that's just the thing.
And oh god! Okay, I just saw you get murdered. That was horrible. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I didn't step out quite enough, but we'll make it back.
Slytherin 90 said exotic fruits Fanta. Out of Sephiroth said Vanilla Coke. Sun Swift is in Sprite Squad. So is Michael the Wolf. We've got the Sprite Squad growing. 22 Acemon said I don't really do soda actually, it's too carbonated. That's fair enough. There's lots of other drinks to enjoy instead.
Yeah.
James D. Morris said Pepsi. And Justin Pritt said I like all kinds of soda, but I like regular old Coke. Lindsay and Jake Kangaroo Mouse said wild cherry Pepsi. Angelica Montoya said anything fruity is good for me. Said Sprite and orange Fanta. Then again, I don't drink a lot of soda. Dylan Bradley said vanilla root beer is up there for me. My station said I prefer Pepsi. Yep, lots of good ones in there.
Mm-hmm.
And we got the squad rooting for you. Some random person said I am a water enjoyer.
That's perfectly legit too. It's the best thing for you.
It is.
Crap.
No! I haven't seen what happened to you yet, but I know that it wasn't a good thing.
It didn't register that I pressed down, so I didn't spin dash.
No. Instead, you jumped up into the belly of the
Yep.
beast. Online Devil said it sucks that Knuckles can't jump as high as Sonic and Tails.
Yeah,
Well,
that's...
they had to nerf him somehow. He's got real good skills in other ways.
Yeah, they wanted him to be hard mode, so, you know, it's understandable, but at the same time, it makes this boss fight in particular a drag.
Hey. Yeah, and then I'll let you show up with all your rings so you can just hyper knuckle this guy. Do all that trouble to collect the Chaos Emeralds and they don't even let you use it in the final boss.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. This one... This has the other, like, another level afterwards, doesn't it? Because you
Nope.
have the Chaos Emeralds? No? Which game is that?
That was 3 and Knuckles.
Okay. It's been a while since I did an Emerald run of any of these games, so I forget.
Yeah, though in 3 and K, Knuckles doesn't get like an Emerald's boss like Sonic does.
Yeah, and Sonic's Emerald boss is pretty dope.
Yeah. Though Knuckles does get Mecha Sonic at Sky Sanctuary with the Master Emerald, so it's an exclusive.
Yeah, I already mentioned how freaking cool that fight is, so
Absolutely.
it's worth it.
Those last two didn't count.
Cool. Ooh, Slytherin 90 said, KN, who is your favorite outer Senshi from Sailor Moon? Good question.
For me, that would be Hotaru, Sailor Saturn.
Hard for me to pick between it's between Neptune and Uranus. It's like I like them together, and like can't you get they're usually paired for obvious reasons, but I like them like those two a lot. But it's hard to say which one of the two I like more.
I think that
Cool.
I think Haruka is as a singular character the stronger one of the two.
You're probably right. Like I am usually thinking of them together because they are almost always featured together. But yeah, you're right. She has a little bit more that she does on her own. A little more like depth there.
Yeah.
Troublemaker. Yeah, I guess I'll say Haruka then.
Slytherin apparently agrees with my sentiment about Hotaru. That storyline was so fucking good. I loved it in Crystal, and I'm sure in the original anime it was good too.
I need to revisit. I was watching watching some of Crystal a while ago. I put it down for a bit. I think it was like the movie thing. The 2-part movie came out for Crystal that was supposed to be covering like the whole, like a whole arc of the series. But I didn't finish. I need to go back to it.
Yeah. The first part was like they're really rushing things. Like it's definitely it feels kind of eh. But the second one is like, oh yeah, like the second part is like the movie that you want to see. Also, we jumped up to 81. That's got to be a YouTube glitch.
Oh dear. Yeah, maybe I've been seeing in the 50s. I wasn't looking right when that happened. So. It could be.
We'll see.
Maybe. I got through the first part of that of the Crystal movie. I don't remember what it was called, but that's
Eternal.
Probably Eternal? Okay. The way you described it just there, maybe that's how come like I ended up putting it down, because it felt pretty rushed, and then I ended up just kind of drifting off to other things. Although I liked the pieces of stuff that I was getting, so I do want to circle back to it again. I appreciated the stuff with Venus and Artemis, and I know you must have.
Yeah, it was nice to see. It's like, just that
someone like gets their like power back from interacting with that dude has been with her from day one. Artemis deserved to have that moment with her.
Yeah, it was nice after the cats were basically an afterthought in season 3, so that was cool. I just wish beat the game, by the way.
Yay!
What an done reaction. Oh yeah, we didn't beat the game. But yeah, it was nice for Artemis to get that moment, but it still it still felt like they, it could have been more impactful. It was just the first half of Eternal could have been a whole lot better, but they're trying to cram so much into 2 hours.
Into like this short period of time, and I agree with that. I really appreciated that Artemis got to be like the trigger for like Venus's powers in that moment, but you're right, they rushed that. I wanted way more out of that. I wanted more drama.
Yeah.
But I appreciated if they were gonna be blasting through all those events. I'm glad that that's how they handled that one.
Yeah. Yeah, see, in Sonic's good ending, he doesn't land on the plane, so it's like it doesn't have as much of a connection as in the bad ending where he lands on the plane and Tails saves him. Knuckles is a bro, and he landed on the plane so that Tails could feel useful.
Yay! Yeah, it's not fair, man. Tails doesn't get to go on like that ending, but oh, he's so cute. Sweet, sweet, sweet victory. Oh.
Hurrah!
Angelica Montoya said, Sonic Song, have you seen Christmas with Silver by Belena Productions? I sure have, I was in it!
I was gonna say.
In that video for Tails, Amy, and Blaze. And if Rouge made an appearance in that one, I think she did, then I was also Rouge. But yeah, I play half the characters in that video.
KN, were you in seasons 1, 2, 3, and part of 4 of Sonic and Mario?
Yes.
For better or worse, yes.
Yay! Nico Sullivan said, I was literally just thinking about that song, KN. It's the perfect song for Skull's victory here.
Yay!
Sunswift said, imagine a mod where it is Tails being the only character. Well, you can just play one player mode as Tails, and then you do get to go through the whole thing yourself.
Yeah,
but...
I almost did that for this stream here, but I've got plans for later this year.
I forget what happens with that ending animation when you beat the game as Tails, because he doesn't catch himself on the plane.
Sonic catches him.
Oh, that's right, that's right.
Yeah, and
I had played a mod at one point where they had Amy doing it, but I'm like, I know that's not what really happens.
Yeah, and with Tails, getting the Chaos Emeralds actually doesn't matter because the ending doesn't change at all.
Oh, why does Tails get like shafted in this game?
Yeah, he can't fly by the player, and his ending doesn't matter. So
Terrible.
um,
That's why we make fan content. It's because we get robbed.
yeah, exactly. At least they improved him tremendously in Sonic 3.
Yeah. I mean, I appreciated having like a little invincible character to play as because I fell in love with Sonic 2 as a kid because I was able to play with my older brother who was competent at games and I was not. So he could play the game as Sonic and actually like get through the levels and stuff. And I had like a little invisible sidekick that could be helpful sometimes. But it didn't cost my brother that much if I'm over there like getting blown up by moto bugs and stuff. It was hard for collecting Chaos Emeralds though because I was in the way for those parts. But I really enjoyed Tails' inclusion, and he only got his role expanded on more. But I do still think that's cheap. Even when you play his solo mode, you don't even get like a fancy ending.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Thank you for the congratulations, everybody. So
Congrats!
much. We do like a short Q&A segment before we gotta switch it on over to Vinny's stream.
Yeah,
He's
looks like we got
apparently
like
playing Sonic Colors Ultimate today.
Ooh, it's a Sonic-filled day.
I accidentally closed my dashboard.
Oh, that's okay. Everyone's just saying Tails deserves better.
Yeah, he sure do.
He do. He a good boy.
Earlier, Josh said how that Sonic 3 lock-on works is so fucking rad. It reads the header of the inserted game and boots stuff respectively. Nux in Sonic 2 is a baked-in patch hot-wired into Sonic 2, like from the Nux cart. Wild. Yeah, it is really interesting. I mentioned how some of that works near the beginning, and it's so cool that they were able to do stuff like that. Rabid then said, "It's a shame that Sailor Moon Eternal Part 1 is so rushed because the last time the Inner Guardian slash Senshi since that's the last time the Inner Guardian slash Senshi that aren't Usagi or Chibiusa really get to do anything of significance in the manga."
Ah, yeah, that's a bummer.
It really
Yeah,
is.
sometimes just having to rush through stuff, you lose things when you gotta go too quick.
Absolutely.
Hey,
Also,
Jen!
welcome, Jen. Welcome to the stream.
Jen's here with a cute little Luna icon for what we're talking about right now.
Says, "Aw yeah, catching the last 15 minutes."
And also Kayla Project said, "Congrats, Skull. This is my first time seeing your stream."
Hey, thank you so much. I hope that you've been enjoying so far.
Also, welcome, Player Sword. They said, "Hi, I'm from Brazil and I don't speak English. You're doing pretty well. Welcome. We're glad you're here."
Unfortunately, I can't say hello in Portuguese, so I'm sorry, but hello.
I'm not sure what is it in Portuguese?
Yeah,
It looks like I probably am just gonna mispronounce it. Olá. OLA with an accent. That's the best that I've got. But I unfortunately don't speak the language.
yeah.
Hey, Ouija Brower.
Welcome. What the heck is a Sanic? Not the character
I
being
don't
played
know.
on this stream.
Yeah, I don't know what that is either, but he showed up on my energy drink that tasted like hot dog meat, and it was disgusting.
I still can't believe that you actually put yourselves through that.
That was gross, and I stopped at a reasonable amount of time. The boys got competitive and didn't. Like you could see them getting progressively pale.
And
Like,
I could definitely believe that from Vinny.
yeah, it was interesting.
The way that sound, I thought you were burping at first, and I was like, I would not have expected that from KN.
Yeah, let me just down some soda and we'll make this a party.
It hasn't stopped other people from doing it on stream. In fact, in the last one, I think a little one slipped out of me. So, Lieutenant Collins says, and I'm here for the first time. Hi from Russia. Well, welcome to the stream, Lieutenant Collins. And
Hi and welcome.
I hope you've been enjoying, because I've seen you throughout. So yeah.
Bumble Crumble said, "Can you should drink the G Fuel again one day." No.
Oh God.
I did
I'm
it for
fairly
the
certain that
novelty.
like if that thing hasn't been buried in the desert by this point, then I
I'm
fear
not
for whoever runs into it
sure.
next.
Yeah, I don't know what would compel me to drink it again because the whole point was the novelty of the thing, just to see what it tasted like. I know what it tastes like now, and I don't want it again.
Maybe for charity.
Yeah, okay. If I was doing if it was for charity, I would do it again. But if just for slaps and giggles, I wouldn't do it again.
Yeah. Jen says put it in the warehouse with the Ark of the Covenant. Exactly.
Yay! Katie Love to Sing was asking, did you rewatch the Sonic movie on Valentine's Day? I did not. I got my Valentine's video out and I had work that day, so that's basically all I did. How about you, Skull?
I didn't rewatch it. The next time I'm probably gonna watch it is like uh right before I go and see the sequel in April. So
That's a
that's
good plan. I'd probably do the same.
yeah. Um, Online Devil says, question for Skull. When are you going to do the Sanic Chili Dog Flavor G Fuel Challenge? And I can say that, as a content creator, as someone who wants to do good by my viewers, that challenge will happen never. I'm not interested. Sorry, I'm not doing it.
The only reason I ended up doing it is because it was a joke. We were joking about it because I didn't think it was real. And Voices of Nathan, who's my Sonic actor, he was like, "No, no, I wasn't kidding. It's actually like a real thing." And he showed me a picture. I'm like, "That's Photoshop. That's not real." And then we just got to joking about it, and then I think it was on like Twitter. Everyone was like, "Well, if you find out that it's real, you should totally do a stream where you taste test it." And I was like, haha, yeah, I guess I would do that just because it'd be funny. And then Vinny popped up like, "Yeah, that would be funny, like if you guys actually did it." And then I found out it was real, and Nate bought some. And I was like, what, no, okay. Well, now it was just a joke, but now Nate actually got some, and I don't want him to have to do it by himself, and it'll be funnier if if I get involved like I said I would. So I'm like, well, I said I was gonna do it, and Vinny's like, well, I'm gonna look like a chump if I back out now. We were all just joking, but freaking Nate went and bought some. And so me and Vinny found some that we could share, and then, well, the rest was history. But it started because it was a joke. I didn't think it was a real thing, and Nate insisted to the point of getting some.
Oh my. Yeah,
No.
that's absolutely like what an interesting story. Just
Yeah, we were playing the Sonic Minecraft DLC, and in character he kept having Sonic talking about chili dog flavored G Fuel, and I was like, "That's disgusting." And I kept having Tails say, "That's disgusting," and it's not real. And so it was this argument we were having in character, and then it turned out to be real and just devolved into that. Uh,
and then he said his chili dog G Fuel was this existent. And then I said that's
it
disgusting.
was disgusting. Bumble Crumble was asking, how bad truly was the G Fuel? I would actually say that it wasn't like it could have been worse. Like to me, it was just like watered down meat flavor. It was gross. And it got worse the more that I had, like aftertaste wise. But honestly, the flavor, it was gross, but it wasn't that big of a deal. The problem was immediately it sat bad in my stomach. I took like the first few drinks of it, and it sat real heavy in my stomach, and I was like, I can deal with the flavor, I guess. It's disgusting, but the way that it hit my stomach like that, I don't like that. And I'm live streaming right now. I don't want this to become an ordeal. And so I
Yeah.
was like, you know what? I had my one thing here, and we're done now. We're done. And what happened was the boys got competitive and kept drinking more and more and more. And so not only was it disgusting, and the aftertaste is worst every time, it's an energy drink. You're not supposed to drink a lot of an energy drink. Like, you need to have the specific scoop mixed in with a certain amount of water so it's diluted. You can definitely overdo it on an energy drink,
Oh
and
yeah.
like this isn't just like a normal beverage thing. So that's, I think, part of why they started getting like way worse off. You saw that they were getting sick as we were going.
Yeah, see,
I was the
that's
smart one
just
that
part of the
stopped.
yeah, that's just part of the thing is that I feel like if I did it, it's already disgusting just from the sound. I'm not interested in trying it. If I drank it, I feel like I'd throw up.
Yeah, you don't need to, and I feel like that was definitely, that was a possibility. Because like I said, the flavor wasn't that bad. It wasn't the flavor that got me. It's just that it was gross, but survivable. It's the way it hit my stomach immediately. I was like, nope. this is,
Well,
I'm not having a lot of this.
yeah. Trip, welcome to the stream and your donator message who says Tim Hortons G Fuel when. So like if they made like a donut flavored one, I don't think that'd be great, but I'd be way more willing to try that than you know.
I'm uh I'm not especially educated. Is Tim Hortons donuts and coffee?
Uh, I tend to associate it with like snacks and breakfasts. I've never really had anything from there aside from their pretzel bagels, which aren't that good. But you know, people seem to like it enough to it's still in business, so must be a thing.
Aha.
Jen says, heck, I've had widely loved food that makes me want to puke. Exactly. Some people like some things. Uh, you know, it all really just depends on the individual. Like for me, uh, green vegetables. I swear I have never been able to handle any of them like outside of certain circumstances. Uh, so it's a thing.
Jen said, I definitely associate it with donuts. Alright, so donuts is kind of the vibe of a Tim Horton.
Yeah, it's like that sort of place. Like basically, just think of it as like sort of a fast food bakery, if that makes any sense.
Ooh. Unswift, I also like spinach. I
See,
like it raw, I like it cooked.
spinach was one of the worst ones to me. Uh,
No, I don't blame you.
nothing beats green beans in that respect, though.
Oh,
Good
my dad
God.
hates green beans. It's the
Even
waxy,
even
like,
the
kind of
smell of
texture.
green beans just makes me gag. I'd hate it.
I am fine with green beans myself for the most part, but that was one thing. That was like my dad loathes those.
Oh yeah.
Uh, Online Devil said, "I've heard of peach rings flavored G Fuel. That's good actually. The Sonic Peach Rings G Fuel, it tastes just like a peach soda. It's tasty.
Yeah, if it's I mean, I'm not really big on artificial peach to be honest, but that sounds way more normal than
Yeah, that's a normal people flavor."
that sounds like something people would want to have.
Uh, Jen said, even like fresh ones that have been blanched so they're still crunchy. I can't do frozen or canned green beans anymore. Gross.
I don't know. I don't know which kind of green beans that I tried. Probably ones from the can. So I guess I can't really say about like super fresh ones or anything of the sort. But uh, you know, it doesn't sound like a good prospect.
Yeah, no, and you know what? I'm sure if you were in the mood for a vegetable, you could find something that you actually liked instead of torturing yourself with something you didn't.
Yeah, like usually you put it on something as opposed to just eating it on its own. But onion, for example, I love onions.
Onion.
Yeah, onions are good.
Blue 4 said, if I can stomach cauliflower pizza dough, you can eat green beans, my dude. Well, actually, Blue, cauliflower pizza dough sounds delicious.
And I've never tried it personally. I don't even think I've had like regular cauliflower, which is odd because you'd think,
I
I'm
love
almost 28 years
cauliflower.
old, so you'd think at one point.
I like cauliflower. I like cauliflower rice. I like cauliflower and broccoli, but I gotta prefer the cauliflower because broccoli hurts me. Cauliflower doesn't make me sick afterwards, but broccoli does.
Most people I've heard like an anecdotal opinion of say that they much prefer cauliflower to broccoli, except for Jen
Because of
apparently.
what's in. Yeah, Jen says it's the worst vegetable. And you
Uh,
know what? It's all fair enough. It just depends on how things like hit your taste buds or treat your body afterwards. Because, like I was saying, I love broccoli, but I almost always get sick afterwards. Like,
yeah,
dang it, freaking broccoli.
freaking
I want
broccoli
to eat
indeed.
you.
Huh,
Yeah, it gives me like indigestion or something. Like I end up in pain from broccoli a lot. I'm like, well, this sucks.
yeah.
This never happened when I was eating a donut or bread. Try to eat healthy, get sick. What is this?
um,
I love mushrooms, guys.
Mushrooms are good. On the note of like feeling bad afterward, though, Slytherin was asking me my thoughts on corn. I think I've only ever had like standard yellow corn before, and I was one of those weirdos that only really likes it on the cob. Uh, I wonder if I could even handle it now because I can't have foods that were like made with corn, so like say Doritos, for instance, without my stomach like it doesn't make me
Mm.
awful sick throwing up or whatever, but it gives me stomach pain like nothing else. So I wonder if like regular old corn would have the same effect on me now.
Well, there is an aspect of corn that's difficult to digest, so
Yeah.
like it doesn't surprise me that like it could put you into a bad situation. Like my grandma also has like issues with corn.
Yeah,
So
like
even though taste-wise she loves it, but she cannot eat it because it will cause harm.
yeah, I used to be able to have like Fritos and stuff just fine, and then 26 years old, and I'm just like, man, I want these Doritos. Munch. Then a couple hours later, oh God, what's happening to me?
Sucks. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and it always sucks when that happens to something that you like eating.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
Uh,
And Swift's mom is allergic to bananas. That also sucks.
yeah, bananas are great.
I love me some bananas.
Big Fox 3V says, Yo, KN, sorry I missed your stream due to making dinner. I'm here to support your buddy here and cheering on a full Emerald run, which was successful. So thank you for cheering it on. Loved the newest Valentine's video, by the way. Much love to you and the team.
For coming, Big Fox. I hope you had a good dinner.
Absolutely. Big thanks and all that. I hope that you enjoy the you've enjoyed the brief stuff that you have seen here. But my goodness, we've been having quite a good roll of conversation and whatnot, but it is 8 o'clock now. Uh,
Yes.
Rachel, I'm 27. I'm going to turn 28 in May, but that's aside from the point. It's been a good time here on this Friday, but Vinny is just about to stream, and I have a great deal of respect for the man, so I don't feel like it'd be fair to, keep you guys here and run over his stream, which is uh, located here. So, uh, my goodness, what a good run of Sonic 2, Knuckles and Sonic 2, even if there were a few, bad deaths here and there, but, we made it out fine. All emeralds in Emerald Hill Zone. My goodness. KN, thank you so much for doing this double up once again.
Thank you for inviting me. You know I love my boy Knuckles, so we got to do a nice double stream celebrating the boy and some Sonic 2. We got lots of great Sonic 2 related news this week, so it was pretty well timed.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no problem at all, and I look forward to whenever the next time happens to be. So yeah, with all that said, everybody, I have been Skull902.
I've been KN in on the side like a good side of fries. Woo!
Beautiful. Thank you all for watching and have yourselves a wonderful day. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye!
Bye-bye.